Hi everybody, I'm Janet.
And I'm Mike.
And this is the Book Report. It's time once again to do an Everything Gauche episode of the Book Report where we talk about some things that we've been liking recently that aren't books.
Today I'd like to talk about a show that I've been watching recently called High Maintenance, which is a web series that you can watch on Vimeo. It is about a drug dealer, a marijuana dealer in New York. He's never named, he's just called The Guy. And it follows him, and every episode is a different client that he's delivering to. And it's a comedy, although it also has some really dramatic episodes.
Oh, High Maintenance.
High Maintenance. Are you thinking of something else, Janet Potter? Got your mind all confused somehow?
No, I just got it. I just got the pun.
It really could be any other kind of delivery man. It's just that this allows the character, I think, to kind of work on his own and be a freelancer, which we both know how fun that is. I think we make less money as freelancers than the guy probably does.
Yeah,
so
we've definitely got to get into pie.
Look into a different profession. I rewatched two of them last night, and the first one's called Jonathan, and it stars, the guest stars Hannibal Buress, the comedian, who plays himself, and he's doing a stand-up comedy act when there's a shooting at the club that he's performing at. And so he calls the guy to a few days later. You see him in his apartment playing video games, kind of catatonic with shock, and he calls the guy. And the guy comes and brings the weed, and Hannibal Buress is just sort of sitting there playing video games, like obviously not all right. At some point where they're both playing a video game, Hannibal Buress just starts to break down and cry. And the guy looks at him and says, "Hey, are you okay?" And he just says, "No." And the guy says, "Do you want me to leave?" And he says, "No." And they just sort of keep playing a video game, and it cuts away. It's just a really beautiful show, really a comedy that kind of like aims much higher than most TV comedies.
I was originally going to talk about Serial Podcast for this episode. And then last night, I rewatched the movie Drinking Buddies. And now I want to talk about that. Drinking Buddies is about two coworkers and friends. Jake Johnson, who plays Nick in New Girl, and Olivia Wilde. They are coworkers at Revolution Brewery in Chicago. Jake Johnson's girlfriend is played by Anna Kendrick, and they've been in a relationship for a long time. Olivia Wilde's boyfriend is played by... They all kind of have a sense that there's something going on and that maybe the relationship between these two coworkers is a little too close for people who have relationships already. But it's never played for high drama. All of the different relationships are just borne out by the dialogue and kind of like pauses and looks, and it's just incredibly well done. If you've read Gone Girl or seen the movie Gone Girl, much has been made about this passage in the book where the character of Amy describes the cool girl, likes cheap beer and playing poker and watching Die Hard and eating hot dogs and is still a size 2, and like never complains about you to her friends. A lot of what Gone Girl is about is the fact that nobody's actually like that.
Right.
But that most women feel like they have to pretend like they are. I would say that the most interesting portrayal of the cool girl character I have seen is Olivia Wilde's character in this movie. She's so recognizable as like the girl you're always afraid your boyfriend is going to meet.
Right.
Because she's super hot. She works for a beer company. Like, she's always just like down to get down. She drinks all the time, but never gets drunk, and she still looks amazing. But again, it's much more complicated than that. And I think by the end of the movie, you understand Olivia Wilde's character in a completely different way. And then Anna Kendrick, who's much more kind of like put together and is also very awesome. Like, Anna Kendrick doesn't play an uptight person in any way. Which is another great choice of the movie, because while Anna Kendrick and Olivia Wilde are kind of, held in juxtaposition to each other, Anna Kendrick doesn't get like the short end of the stick. Like, she's still great. You know?
Right, yeah.
She doesn't play, like, the one who shall be dumped. They're all great. The movie's great. Go watch the movie.
Hell yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
You'll never walk alone, Mike.
You'll never walk alone, yeah. It actually took me a while to get it, too. I thought it referred to the clients, and then I was like, oh, hi, yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa, dude, it blew my mind.